Welcome back to another episode. So in our last episode, we changed out the crankset on this Walmart bike. So I have another upgrade that I'm going to do today, and it's going to be putting this DNM air shock in place of this coil shock on the rear. It's just a normal Schrader valve. So you air the pressure up to the chart here that corresponds with your weight. This isn't real fancy. It doesn't have the return on it. Should be a decent upgrade, not necessarily the best upgrade. I do tend to go on a budget. So that's what we'll be doing, is putting this on. So there are 2 aluminum bushings in here and 3 of these little plastic, like they look like shims. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Allen wrench and we'll get right on it. Okay. There's that. This guy have a long sleeve there that's threaded. I'm sure that's going to have to be reused. Wow, that's interesting. So it looks like I may end up having to take this pivot a little bit loose because it is not wanting to let go of that. It's like it's pinched in between the two. I'm a little hesitant to do that. Come to the back side here. Yeah, that's pretty tight. You know what I'm going to do? Probably hit it with a hammer. Okay, got that one out. Now it is a little tighter. There we go. I just kind of pulled up on this, and now this slid out pretty easily. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there just for now. Okay, that looks like that fell out. Now this, on the other hand, has got me kind of confused as to why this isn't cooperating so well. Okay. Might even be a good idea to take that off. So one thing to keep in mind is that when you disconnect this whole bike just wants to squat. And this bike has a kickstand, and it's pretty much useless when it's sitting the way that it is. All right. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead, try to get that guy out of there. Very good. So here's the old one. All right, let's turn that guy on. Okay, so first I'm going to weigh this one. And it weighs 15.7 ounces. Okay. This one weighs 6.8 ounces. So that's a pretty substantial drop in weight, I think. It is obvious. This is definitely a lot lighter than that. So let's see here. It looks like these shims are supposed to go inside here. And they do feel a little tight. They don't feel like they want to go in there very easily. I'm going to have to come back to that. All right, so I'm going to come back over here to the vise. So I'm going to take a socket to go over top of this. I guess on this side would be a better way to say it. Okay, so that seems to be working. A little farther. All right, pretty pleased with that, I think. I just need to do the same thing over here on this side. I do it in a way that can be seen by you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna put this guy around. Yeah, it looks pretty good. All right. So I've come to realize something. The gap here, standard hardware that comes with this is not going to work. This is 165 millimeter from eye to eye, but I pressed in the wrong one. I'm actually going to have to press this one out and push it into this one. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I just need to get a longer, something that's a little bit longer that can, maybe that'll work. Just something like this. It wants to push in one direction easily, but not in the other direction. So that's makes me wonder if it's got a little step in it or something. Okay, that felt like I hit bottom, probably in the socket, I guess. All right, go a little farther, hopefully. A little bit deeper of a socket. All right, that should take care of that. Oh man, it's so close. So close, okay. There we go. All right, so now I've got this piece that I need to put inside this. And I'm going to put it at the top because I want the air spout up. All right, so I'm try to press this one out now. Yes, this is hodgepodge. And I do apologize for that, but sometimes we do what we can with what we got. All right. That pushed out. Looks like it took the little grommet with it. So that's not good. Well, actually, it's not even that tight on this, so maybe that's not as bad as I thought it was initially. Ooh. I tell you, ever since I turned 40, my hands just let go anymore of stuff. All right, so I'm going to push this over this. Now, put this. Sorry. Now I'm going to put this inside here. At least definitely try to, at least. So, I'll find my socket, which is right here. Okay. So what's happening right now, it's actually pushing the barb through, or the cylinder through, but it's not pushing the plastic. So I'm actually having to bottom out, and now it's pushing the plastic. So I might have to push it almost all the way completely in to get the plastic piece set inside. And then, once that's done, I'll have to turn it around and then push the cylinder back through halfway the way it came. If that makes any sense. Just want to double check that, make sure we're still in good shape. All right, there. I think. All right. So that I can push from both sides and it kind of level out in the center. I'm going to try to do that. I think that's might be the way to go. Just kind of make a sandwich out of it. That seemed to have worked. All right, cool. I am going to use the two new versions of these over top of this. Like that. Now that everything's together, I should hopefully be able to push this inside here. Of course, if I get it in there the wrong direction, man, I'm going to be in really bad trouble. If I can, wonder if I can maybe get this bottom one in first, go up underneath, kind of like this, and then put pressure on the suspension and try to go down on top of it. I think that is what I'm going to try to do. If I get hurt, you get to laugh about it. Oh, come on. Yeah, this guy's squirmy with all this disconnected. Just making sure that fits, because that would be my luck right there. There it goes. It would be my luck if that thing didn't fit in there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this down a little bit, just make it snug. I'm going to go ahead and go up under it like this. And it is very tight. It is very tight. In fact, as you saw when I took it out, I think I am going to have to loosen these up just a little bit. Man, I do not want to do that. Of course, it's going to turn. There we go. Little loosen. There we go. Yeah, I did not like doing that, but that did the job. Okay. So I'm going to push this through the back side. I can get it lined up well. There we go. Okay. All right, so now that's in place. I'm going to go ahead and tighten these back down. All right, so that's good. Definitely don't want to over tighten it to the point that it doesn't function. All right, so we've got the DNM air shock put on. You saw it's a lot lighter. Definitely, I think more than a half a pound. I'll have to do the math on that and I'll post it. But got the JG crankset we did in the last episode. I did put the RockShox Judy Silver fork, TK Silver, on this with a 29-inch tire that came off of another bike. So right now, between $53, $29, I think that was $180 when I bought it. So I've definitely exceeded the value of the bike because I bought the bike for $186. So, but all in all, if you think about that, you know, you've got kind of like your Treks, your Trek Marlins, you've got your other bikes that are kind of running like the $700 range. I'm definitely below that. And I think from all the reviews I've seen about this bike and the way that it feels and handles, just the geometry of it, it's kind of a good bike to do this to. If you watch Kev Central, you know, he boasts putting $3,000 into this exact same frame. So I'm not going to go there by any means, but I don't think it's a waste of money putting $50 here, $29 there into what would make a capable mountain bike. And the downside to this frame is this 27.2 seat post. That's the biggest downside to this frame, in my opinion. So tell me what you think. You know, if you're into these budget bike builds, if you like it, leave me a comment, subscribe, hang out for the next episode. I think the next episode I'm going to be sticking some hydraulic brakes on the homemade bike. So definitely check that out. And that's all for this video. So thank you for watching.